Thank you.
You're back for a 5th year.
Yes.
What went into that decision? I mean, you've already graduated. You could have moved on.
Yeah.
Why did you want to come back?
Well, I was graduated with finance was my original plan, and then I learned very quickly that I want to be a teacher, so that was going to take a little more schooling, and UCF has a really good program here where I could just transition into that, be done in 5 years. UCF offered me another year of eligibility here, which I thought was awesome. Why not take it?
Yeah. So to talk about that a little bit, I was looking, you're majoring in what, mathematics education?
Yep, high school math. Yep.
High school math,
Yep.
right? They always need math teachers. How did you get interested in that?
Yeah, so my mom's actually a math teacher up in Minnesota, so I've been around that situation my whole life.
So you like math.
So I love math.
A lot of people don't like math.
I love math, and I've learned through working UCF volleyball camps and even working any type of younger that I love working with kids. I love when they finally understand something, and I think it's a challenge to try and figure out how am I going to get them to do what I want them to do. And once I finally get that, that's very satisfaction for me, and I think it's really cool for those kids to have as well.
So coming back, you can do something I don't know if any players have ever done, is to win 5 conference championships in 5 years. Your eligibility would be done after 4 years. I mean, how exciting is that to have to potentially go out as someone who's maybe never done that before?
Yeah, it's definitely exciting, and it's definitely a target on our backs. So it's something that all of us know is a target on our back, so we know we just have to work that much harder to keep that target on our back. We want that target there as long as possible. It's what strives us to be better every day in practice.
Speaking of target on your back, obviously this is, you're the champions. Everyone wants to come gunning for you anyway. You said this will be their last year in the American before they head off to the Big 12. That adds more motivation for some of these schools. Who are some of the rivalries you feel? But sometimes it seems like, I know everyone talks about South Florida, and I'm sure they are because of geography, but are there some other low-key rivalries that you have with teams? Like, who are some of the teams? I mean, you get excited for any game, but who are your top rivalries in this conference?
I think one of the top ones that we've had for a while is probably Houston. They're the ones that always kind of compete with us no matter what. Cincinnati's been up there with us for a long time as well, so those two teams are definitely ones where we're like, all right, we're going to go after it even harder this time.
You got to bring it.
No, but all the teams in the conference, especially we have so many coaches changes in the conference, so now we can't extra look past anybody because I think Temple got a new coach and SMU got a new coach. So 2 new coaches, we have no idea what to expect team-wise. They got brand new teams, so that'll be interesting as well.
Is it cool having Amber kind of coming along with you? I've been on the same track. You guys can do the same things. I mean, having someone you've known and someone so integral to your role too.
Yeah, no, I think it's really important having that setter-hitter connection, and we've had it for 4 years now, going on 5. So when I say something, she understands what I'm saying, thank goodness, because sometimes random words come out of my mouth and she understands what's happening. But same with her, I understand where she's going with the ball. I understand what she needs off the court as well. We actually did the finance track together for the first 2 years, so we did all the classes together, so we've been best buds since freshman year. But to have that avenue together is really cool and really special.
Does it seem like it's been going on 5 years you've been at UCF? Or has time flown, or does it kind of, depending on the day, it kind of feels both ways? Or?
It definitely depends on the day, but when you look at the whole track, it's gone by super fast. To figure out, I was 18 years old, not knowing what I wanted to do. Now I'm in a classroom teaching kids in 5 years. So it's just such a fast timeline of like, hey, I figured out what I want to do, I figured out my passions, and I got to play a sport I love.
There's a little bit of a Minnesota pipeline now coming down to Orlando. What kind of attracted you to this school in the first place? Were you playing in tournaments down here? Were you kind of exposed that way first? Or?
Yeah, so back when I was recruited, there was no recruitment rules that you couldn't commit before junior year of high school. So they talked to us super young, and that was at the time where I was a libero. So I didn't necessarily know much about anything. I was a sophomore in high school, but I attracted to the family atmosphere here instantly, and I thought that was something that was my number one rule, was like, I don't care where I go in the country, I need to have a family, and that needs to be where I'm going. Minnesota pipeline, I say it came from me. I'm gonna take
you're the one recruiting these
I'm
girls,
gonna take it all, but no, like, I didn't know Drezzy. She played at the same club as I. That's about all I knew. I think when she came in, she's like, oh, that McKenna girl, she's scary. But now we're best friends. We live together, the whole thing. Kari and I have known each other since growing up, since this whole time, and then she's kind of been through the transfer portal a few times. But I'm like, finally, you're coming with me now. Like, you're done. You're on this track. So I don't know if it's from me, but I'm gonna say it's from me.
You get a little bit of credit, maybe. What did you make the biggest jump, you think, developmentally for you? Was it going into college? Was it a couple years into college? I mean, obviously you've had a great career, but when do you think you kind of jumped up to that next level and become an elite player?
I think probably after COVID is one time where I'm like, all right, I need to figure out my body. I figured out how it works. Now I need to get to that next level. And I don't know necessarily what clicked or if it's just because I had more of a leadership role. But I learned to brush certain things off, not get flustered as much, and just go play a game.
Yeah.
So
always important.
Yeah.
So what's the outlook for 2022 UCF Volleyball? Obviously, you know, you're a big piece coming back. What else do you see? Are there some newcomers that are going to play a big role?
Yep. We got 3 transfers since fall. We're looking forward to all of them leaving an impact somehow, some way, a middle, a right side, and then an outside. So all transfers, and then we have 3 new freshmen as well, which are going to be such an important part of growing this program. They all come in with great attitudes already, so we're ready to work with them. Transfers, again, they already know what college volleyball is like. So they add that extra piece that the freshmen just don't know yet. So that transfer portal is really big. They're adding maturity to our group very quickly, and they're adding a competitive nature that we were already pretty competitive, but now they just stepped up the game one more time.
Yeah.
So
I was going to a couple of fun questions. We were talking to Ryan Swoboda, one of the offensive linemen, the other day. He was talking about his favorite movies. He's a big fan of Rocky movies, and he ranked them. What about you? What's your favorite movie franchise or singular movie, or maybe a movie franchise? Like, what do you get amped up for?
I'm just a drama guru.
Okay.
But my brother and boyfriend have gotten me on the Marvel movies. So that's one thing.
Are there any particular ones that are like, man, that was amazing?
I love Iron Man. Just anyone with Iron Man. He was just my dream character. So any Iron Man movie is probably one of my favorites. I still have to get caught up on all the new ones. But
yeah, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of new ones. I'm a little behind, but
looking at TV and streaming, are there some shows that you've really enjoyed, you binged watched, or what do you like?
We've been watching All-American for a while, but always my go-to is Friends. It's on Nickelodeon every night, so we'll turn that on all the time.
Now, yeah.
Yep, I know, but we got all the CDs, we got everything.
Favorite character on Friends?
Probably Joey. I love Joey.
Okay.
Yeah, Joey's my favorite.
Last thing, what would be the perfect way for you to go out? Last year of your college career, like, what do you want to accomplish?
I think the biggest thing is just to go out hard. I don't know if there's necessarily an end goal because I don't want to be disappointed in something if I'm shooting for a national championship and we don't get there. But competing every day in practice, if there's a day where we're not, that is considered a loss for me. So if we can compete every single day in practice, no matter what, that's something that I'm striving for. As a captain, as a leader, and as a player, how can I compete with myself every day to try and be the best?